So let me give you a recap of building a brand, because I see most of the brand owners randomly build brand and color and everything else, looking at each other's or competitors, shape and sizes and taglines, and so that's not the way you build a brand. So let me demystify in the going back to basic. So if I give you a very simple graph, which is branding goes around 2,700 years ago, where ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, Indus Valley, and in the ancient Greece around 2700 BC, where this branding started, which is ownership to prevent marking sheep and cattle for taxation purpose, for authenticity, for identification that this is your versus mine, and so on and so forth. Next comes Bharat Muni, who wrote Natya Shastra, which is the most important, where how performance, theater, or things we can evoke certain amount of emotions of the people who are watching based on certain rashas and certain bhavas, right? He wrote that. So if you read this, then you will understand it still has a relationship still now, which means in today's movies and theater or whatever, Mahabharat, whatever stories we see around are based on Bharat Muni's Navras, right? So even your theater, serials, whatever you see are all based on Natya Shastra's, Navaras. So Navaras, if you search, you will able to see more in terms of. So these are important part of the brand. I will correlate and connect the dot. Then you will understand how deeper you should go to build a brand. Next comes, if I get into a very simple graph of how these Natya Shastras work, which is Hingsha, Rasa, Rudra, Bhai, all those different type of emotions. Each emotions have different expressions, which will how your nostril, your eyes, or your eyebrows, your wrinkles, or how you should express, so that the user who is watching you can get the same amount of the same emotion which you are trying to express. So these are different type of rashas still now used in all forms of art in the Indian form. In the Indian form. Next comes the most important is this is a timeline which I'm showing you, is that Pluto in 370 BC who wrote about idealism around human nature, expression, and so on and so forth. Then it is Sigmund Freud who also wrote on similar lines of how human being behave in terms of dreams, what are the symbols they see, what are the culture, what are the colors, and what are the shapes they see depicts what type of emotion, which is these are important part to understand, to know a brand in a very deeper sense. Then Joseph Campbell wrote around 1947 of the hero's journey. It is still not still used, and later on the hero's journey from 17 stages is one of his student, which is Christopher Vogler. Vogler also wrote something on the 12 stages. This 12 stages hero's journey is still now used in mostly in the Western world, and also in the Indian cinema or different type of storytelling format. You will see this. Next comes Hofstede model, which I use very predominantly in terms of building a brand, understanding brand rituals, symbols, what are the core value, essence, and so on and so forth. It is around eight. So all these things, if I go much deeper, Jennifer Archer, David Archer, and Jennifer Archer, daughter and father. So they are the one who wrote, who conceptualized and who first created the structure on brand architecture, brand personality, a brand of houses, house of brands, sub brands, which we spoke on my earlier video. And this is all about emotions. If you see the relationship of all these are how human will behave, how human will have a perception based on different type of expressions, symbols, color you're showing to them, right? This is a common thread. Next is your Carl Jung in 2010 created brand archetypes. These are very interesting. Archetypes are the fundamentals of putting all brands, different brands based on their behavior, what type of characteristic they have, what type of personality they have. All these personality are based on how you build your how you want to what you want to say, what you want, what people will think when they see your brand is how your personality, how you build the brand is quietly explained here. I want all of you to go through this. Then you will understand how to build a brand in a very organic manner, right? Next comes is, if you see the commonality between the Navarasa, our brand architecture, brand archetype, Zero's journey, Hofstede model, brand personality, you will see one thing which is very common. It is all about storytelling, culture, consequences, expression. In one word, it is relationship, how a brand is behaving like a human being. And with this human being, how, what are the human traits the brand have? What are the culture, feeling, mind, perception, expression the brand will evoke, so that user, when they see that, they understand, okay, this is a human being talking to me. So how you put your brand and how you make your brand behave like a human being, because people buy from people. I'll coming to that point. How brand also, this is a quick slide to tell you how branding value first came into commercial usage, which is around, it started from 1970 in the, and gradually Nestle bought Kit Kat. So Kit Kat was bought with a brand value which is 2x the book size, book value. So and in 2001, starting from the 1990s to 2001, a UK accounting period, accounting started, or recognized that branding or brand valuation is a very important integral part of accounting. It is no more, it will be treated as a miscellaneous, right? So this is the brand got respected, or brand got emerged into a commercial value where it is considered as the important part of the accounting and the business thing. Next comes is this one. These are six stages I want you to follow before you build a brand, because don't copy each other's or competitors' brand to build your brand, or randomly don't pick up, don't give your agency a random brief, I like pink or you like blue, and make something out of it. That's not the way, because you are giving wrong emotion, you're giving wrong signal, you're giving wrong perception. So that's the reason many big brands fail when they don't follow such thing, including small brands who I see mostly MSME in India. They don't care about this deeper way. Mostly agency also get frustrated and they actually do a quick fix job without going deeper. So it is the brand owner, it is the owner or the brand custodian who should be thoughtful. And if you find this meaningful, then you can follow the structure. Number one is human decisions are based on emotion. So how people interpret meaning in terms of how, what are the trigger emotions you want to trigger through your brand is most you should know. This, all these things come through research. I'll tell you later on. Next is emotion influence perception, and personal perception influence choice. So if you want people to choose you, you should evoke the right amount of emotion. Number one. Number two, brand intentionally use a lot of emotional cues like stories, colors, symbols, characters, belief, whatever, to shape and guide and change the perception in the mind, right? Second, so if these are randomly chosen, then you're doing something wrong. Third is differentiation happens in the mind actually, right? So many products can be have a similar function, but how to create this distinctiveness, how to create your brand memorable, only will come when you know this things absolutely clear, and you build your content, you build your brand, your color, your icons, your symbols, your brand ethos based on this, and not on random thought, creative idea. If you see this, people buy from people. People don't buy from companies, or from companies. So how to have a clear personality? Your brand should be male, female, or both, or a generic, or whatever, or a kid. So you should have a clear personality. How the brand should talk, tonality of the brand, the how the brand should behave. So starting from the CEO to the receptionist to the salespeople, all should follow the brand personality, because each people in your company are also considered as a brand ambassador. So if these are not clear, or if the brand values are not clear, how hard you try, how big campaign you do, how big agency, what big agency you hire, you will eventually will not able to make it. And branding is obviously a longer period. Blending need is like marketing is a, I will also give you another example where marketing is a short term, branding is a long term. It takes lots of year to build it. So credibility building always takes time. So next is branding is basically a tool by which, if you use this framework, then you can change the cognitive associations or perception in the human's brand, which will eventually benefit you by charging more than your competitor. And the last one is a deeper insights, which is research is very, very important. If you don't know all these things, which I just now explained to you, the architecture, brand values, what type of archetypes your brands fall in, you can have one or two type of archetypes. I will have a separate video on archetypes where I will explain to you how different brands choose these archetypes to build their personality. So if these are not clear, you are actually uh, standing in the dark and winking at the girl. You're thinking that you're building brand, but actually you're not. I hope this helps you. Thank you.